Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. As you can see, we are back in the Khans of Tarkir Premier Draft queue. I'm starting to kind of get an idea of what the format is doing here. Having a little bit of mixed success, but overall having a good time with the format. It's hard to have a bad time when you're drafting Magic the Gathering, am I right? This will be the last draft of the year before we come back on Monday. Don't worry. Schedule stays the same. It just means that on Monday we will be in 2024. So it will be a good time here, but we're going to dive into back one, pick one here of Khans. There is a Mardu Horde Chief, which is the easy pick at common. I've had this Keru Spell Snatcher completely own me before. I think the format is slow enough that this card is good. Like, I played a Abzan common morph card, Abzan Guide, the 4/4 lifelinker, and this thing countered it and then cast it, and then I just lost. Like, it was insane. Mardu Horde Chief might be the quote-unquote correct pick there, but, you know, flipping this even once is gonna be pretty good. Temur Ascendancy. Creatures have haste. Whenever a creature power 4 or greater ETBs under your control, draw a card. I don't know about that. 4 mana 2/5 can buff itself. Embodiment of Spring, no thank you. There's a Skull Hammer, Alabaster Kieran. There is a Bring Low. I found Bring Low to be pretty decent removal so far in the format. This seems like actually pretty okay. I have liked blue-red as a deck, though. And Bring Low, 4 mana, deal 3 instant speed, sometimes deal 5 has just been good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take that here. Ooh, it's a suspension field. 2 mana, ETBs, exile target creature with toughness 4 or greater until it leaves. That seems like the pretty easy pick. Like, this is a good card in today's limited. Not to mention back in 2014, there is a blinding spray. I keep calling this binding spray. There might have been like a recent instant speed blue spell that was like binding lights or something, or binding something or other that I keep getting it mixed up with. Scaldkin, no thanks. Whirlwind Adept. Whirlwind Adept could actually be a card that would go in a deck like this, but this seems like an easy suspension field here. I've seen a lot of meandering tower shells going around. I don't think it's great, though. It's a good blocker, but not great. Crippling Chill is a fun card. 3 mana, tap a creature, doesn't untap during its controller's next untap cycle. Works well with our Spell Snatcher, as does Bring Low, because this is going to want us to hold up our mana on their turn, and if we have nothing we want to counter, we can just cast things like Crippling Chill. Wow, that is a late Feat of Resistance. There's also a Water Whirl, which is a card that I've disregarded before, but actually seems like it could be pretty decent in this format. But there's also a Tranquil Cove. This is tough, because blue-white isn't really a deck necessarily, but that's not to say it can't be. It's another instant. I think it's between Water Whirl Feet and Tranquil Cove here. This is really tough. This might be wrong. I'm going to take the land. But gosh, that's a tough pick there. There's a Water Whirl, or there's a Whirlwind Adept. Smite the Monstrous, a couple of lands. I could take red-green if we end up going Temur here. There is a Savage Punch. Smite the Monstrous might not actually be bad either, but let's take the land. Ooh, a Thornwood Falls. That's pretty good. I don't really like singing Bellstrike. Monastery Flock, whatever. Skullkin, no thank you. Barrage of Boulders for some decks. Highland Game War, yeah, we'll take the land here pretty easily. There is another land. I mean, when all the cards are bad, just take the lands, and then you can play anything you want to do. Let's just keep doing that. Today is the day of lands. All of these are pretty bad here. There's a banner. There's a blinding spray. This could actually be playable, again, with holding things up like the Spell Snatcher here. Having cards like blinding spray might make this sort of thing better. Got a ton of lands. We can kind of do whatever we want here. The only color we're not really touching is black. But we have 3 green lands right now. We've got 3 red lands, so we can take things like a 6-mana 6/6 trample hexproof pretty darn easily. There's also Sultai Flare, Mardu Charm, a Thornwood Falls, Summit Prowler. Yeah, it's a pretty easy Sagu Mauler for me. 6-mana 6/6 trample hexproof with Morph. Forgot to mention there is a land, but that's the kind of card that we get paid off for taking all those lands for. Set Adrift, 6-mana sorcery, put a non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. There is an Absent Falconer though, and gosh, this card has been quite good. What else is there? There is a Water Whirl, Whirlwind Adept, Arrowstorm. There's some good stuff here. I do really like Absent Falconer. We're not really into red as much. If we took the Arrowstorm, we'd be kind of blue-red, splashing green and white, which would be pretty good. I think the Falconer is the best card in this pack, but again, blue-white isn't really something we're trying to do as much here. And I think blue-red with some splashes is actually a pretty decent deck. What is this? I don't even know what this is. 3-mana Aura, +2/+0 and First Strike. Can cast it if it has Flash, if you have Ferocious, so probably not great. There is a Bring Low, there's a Mystic, there's a Kill Shot. There is a Blossoming Sands, but that doesn't touch blue or red. So I'm going to take the removal spell again here. Oh, Goblin Slide. All right, are we building my favorite deck again? Already got 4 instants, a sorcery, and an enchantment. Goblin Slide is exactly what we're looking for. Tranquil Cove, upset we have to pass on that, but we are taking Goblin Slide here. And looking to be blue-red base control. Seems fine to me. What else we got? Valley Dasher, Sandbar, Flock. What are these white cards? Vigilance, no. Watcher of the Roost, no, because it would be on a splash. This is a bit of a defensive card. Don't need Valley Dasher. Don't think I need to play a Teamer banner with all these lands here. This is the perfect kind of pack to take a land, but there wasn't one for us. Now there's a Tormenting Voice and a Disdainful Stroke, both cards I would like, as well as a Rugged Highlands. We already got 2 Rugged Highlands though, so I think I'll take my first Tormenting Voice over my first Disdainful Stroke. I'd probably play 2 voices in 1 stroke, which is why I took the first voice there. Hordeling Outburst. That's a sorcery that creates 1/1s. If we can get another Goblin Slide, find ourselves a Trumpet Blast, we got ourselves a deck. Timely Hordemate. There could have been a pretty good black-white deck at our seat, but we never really saw it because of the route I went down. Because I could have taken Absent Falconer, I could have taken Mardu Horde Chief to start off the draft. I guess Blossoming Sands, but this is like a double splash land, so I'm probably not playing it, but I'm also not playing Shatter. Whereas all these lands touch either blue or red. Another flock. I'll tell you what, this Summit Prowler, as dorky as it seems, has done some good work for me so far in the format. Maybe it makes the cut, maybe it doesn't. We will have to see. Alright, Whirlwind Adept. I mean, got 9 triggers for it already. Ooh, Weave Fate, that's not bad. Can probably play a Weave Fate here. And a Rugged Highlands Wield anyway, there we go. Alright, so when this blocks, it deals 2 damage, more for reveal a red card. When it does, target creature can't block. It's not really what we're looking for. Barrage of Boulders also not what we're looking for. A Scaldkin, a Sambar, a Freet Weapon Master. This is also a little... I guess we could probably play the Efreet Weapon Master here. Really wish we would have gotten it hooked up with, you know, a Goblin Slide or the 3-mana blue enchantment. But I guess I'll take the Weapon Master. Siege Rhino. Can we make Siege Rhino work? No, that's literally every color we're not. And we don't have a black land. Darn. Alright, probably just take a Force away here. 2 mana, bounce a creature, instant speed. What about Ice Feather Haven? 2 mana, 2/2 flying. When it's turn face up, bounce a creature. Wow, that seems great. And we have 4 green sources already. Let's take that. That seems like it's got the best upside for us. A Jeskai Wind Scout, another Bring Low, a Weave Fate, Jungle Hollow Touching Black, but that's the only color we're not playing. There is a Take Up Arms here. I'll just take another removal spell. I mean, they're not the most efficient things in the world, but we'll figure out ways to win. Gosh, there was a good black-white deck. Canyon Lurkers, Scion of Glaciers, Whirlwind Adept. I think I'll try this out. This seems like it's generically fine enough for this format. Another Rugged Highlands, another Weapon Master, and a Valley Dasher. Guess we'll take the land. There we go. That's what I wanted. Quiet Contemplation. For those of you that watched last week's draft, we're building a very similar deck here, but Quiet Contemplation is a really, really fun and good, in my opinion, build around. Don't think we need the Singing Bell Strike, and now we can splash Sagu Mauler, Suspension Field, Avon, and I guess a Efreet Weapon Master. They're all kind of free. We have 5 green sources without playing a single forest here. I think we're going to have to... we might be able to play a Bloodfire Expert. So many banners going around. And we've got 12 non-lands right now? Or 12 prowess triggers? How many instants? 6 instants? It's not a ton. There's a Swift Kick we could put in there. This is exactly 40? Oh my. What if we put something like this in there and cut one of these? Yeah, I mean, there's some good cards in here, but there's some bad ones too, but that's cons for you. So I've found. Sometimes you end up with the good cards, and quite often you end up with cards that are also quite bad in your deck, in my opinion. We have 1, 2... Yeah, so we probably need 2 planes, which is really awkward. We don't really even need a forest at all. This gives us 5, 6, 7, 8 blue and 3, 4, 8 red. Wonder if there's a way to get this out, get another red source in, and then play something like potentially the Bell Strike or even a Teamer banner? Scaldkin. We already have one mentor. I don't really like the first one. This doesn't seem great. I'm not super high on the banners, but I mean, it is a little bit of something to do with your mana at instant speed here while holding up Spell Snatcher, Morph. Okay, so we're a little bit of Teamer, a little bit of Jeskai, and a lot of Izzet. Okay, so I don't think this deck is as good or as consistent as the one we had last week, but hopefully it's as fun. See you in game 1. Alright, we're first, and we don't have a blue land, but any land lets us cast Outburst, a blue land lets us cast Contemplation, and any land lets us morph the Aven here. The format is pretty slow. We'll find one. Instead, we'll draw a 5-drop. And going against black-white, so we're going to have to get a little lucky here. That's a good one. Yeah, obviously this is not working out in our favor. But, we had like 3 shots at a land to play 3 different cards here. So... yeah, here we are. What a game. Magic the Gathering. Thrilling games it produces sometimes. Alright, we'll see you in game 2. Alright, well, we're on the draw this time. We have an extra chance. We have all 3 colors. We don't have the land for Suspension Field, but Tormenting Voice can get us out of screw here, so at least we've got a play we can make. Valley Dasher. Okay. Alright, well then I'll just do this and play Bloodfire Mentor next turn, and then that stops the Valley Dasher. So this is one of the free morphs. Probably the 2/1 flyer that gains life, I would think. I don't know what the red version is. They probably have one for each. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we need to hit a land here. So we don't really have much choice except to do this. And then get rid of this here. Summit Prowler. Sure. Alright, what can we do now? Play a 2-2, play a 3-1. Guess we could play a 3-1. This trades off for Summit Prowler here. Okay, never mind. Take 10. Sure. Still haven't found white yet. We have to find it exactly right now to get rid of this Watcher of the Roost. Or some sort of flyer or something? Never mind, we're dead. Alright, this has been a thrilling draft so far. You know how long it is, I don't, so we're gonna see if this can turn around. Alright, here we are in game 3. It looks like we have to start this one with a mulligan. Not gonna risk what I already did risk and didn't go well for me. This will be an easy keep getting rid of suspension field here. And this is the perfect time to mention that here at Daily Draft, I make sure I post every single draft I record, including this one. I think it's important, like, look, you can find a lot of content creators out there that just post the drafts that they do well in, and, you know, while it's great to put on that facade for everyone, it's also important to show you that I'm human, and sometimes drafts don't go as well as you might want them to. And this might be an example of that, if this video isn't much more than 5 minutes longer than this. But I'm still going to post it, because that's what I do here at Daily Draft, and I'm going to stick to it, so... I think I'm just gonna bring low one of these now so they can't unmorph it. Which was also dumb because I should have gotten an extra point of damage in, but what can you do? Maybe play a little tighter. For some reason I thought I was gonna hold that up and do it on their turn. But I did not. So I'm planning on blocking the mandrills and casting Weave Fate here. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. Now I think I'll play Spell Snatcher face down so that I can ideally get some spell off of them here. I'm going to have to take 4 from the mandrills, but... Oh, they chose not to trade mandrills for both of my cards? Interesting. Okay, I guess I'll hold up Bring Low and Spell Snatcher Morph here. See if I can get something. This has reach, right? Yeah. And if I have to cast Bring Low, first of all, Bring Low can kill the long shot squad and give me a goblin here, but okay, yeah. That's a disadvantage to holding up Spell Snatcher when they just flip that thing. Alright, so let's do this. Auto pay. And then trade. I really want to be able to do this, but they might not have anything. I could Tormenting Voice right now. I think I'm going to hold this up one turn. I can chump the Loxodon with the 1/1 for now. I'm going to flip this up on basically any spell. Oh, do they have a fight? Alright, well I guess I have to do this then. So target creature gets +1/+1 and it fights target creature you don't control. It's free, but it's not the greatest for us. So I could trade Temur Charm and Spell Snatcher for their Loxodon here, and I might do that. Actually, no, I can't, because it would just die. So let's do this. Doing this so I can also pay for Goblin Slide here. Once I Tormenting Voice. So let's do this first. Getting rid of Rugged Highlands, paying 1. Hordling Outburst, okay. And then pass here. The Outburst is just chump fodder here. We're going to have to figure out how to trade for these Hate Blades. Huh. That's a way to get rid of the Hate Blades. It also gets rid of the Adept here. -2, -2. So what if I just... said this? That triggers the Adept to make it not die. It gets rid of both of their creatures and my Goblin, which is fine by me. And then I take 4, which is fine. Okay. So then we... 1, 2, 3, play a Morph. What does this flip up for? Blue and green? Okay. So we can't flip it up this turn, which is fine. Alright, well, I guess we got enough value. Hey, we got a win with this deck. Let's go. Alright, opponent goes first. We have Tormenting Voice. Can't cast it till turn 3 technically off of this, but we do have the Voice, which goes a long way in finding our lands that we didn't find in the first game. So hopefully we can actually play this game. We're not going to punish them for mulling to 5 here because our hand is so incredibly slow. They're deciding what to put back. I do believe they mulligan to 5 here. They have. Okay. We've got Goblin Slide on 3 now. What is this? Oh, that's the Sultai Tri-land. Sure. Slide on 3, Outburst on 4, make 4 goblins. Creature or land. Okay. Depends if they need a land, but they're probably looking for some sort of action here. Looks like they might not even know what they're looking for. Tough decisions. They might, I think this is their best creature, the long shot squad, but they might not have a 4th land in hand. Yeah, that tells me they probably don't have a 4th land. We're just going to get the Goblin Slide going here. For those of you that want to see an incredible Goblin Slide victory, check out last week's video. I believe it was last Friday, and it wasn't us, I'll tell you that. It might not have actually been last Friday. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but boy, was it an interesting one. Let's get the banner down here. Just set up our mana. We're not under a ton of pressure. If we draw land, we could just play a 6/6 trample hexproof. Why does hexproof exist? I'm glad they got away with that for the most part. Mardu Horde Chief make a 1/1, sure. There's a land, and yeah, let's just play this thing. So this is the free morph here that they can probably turn into the 2/1 flyer. Could also be the 1/1 Death Toucher. Or it could also just be the the card they took off of here, the 3/1 Trampler. Which means I should have blocked last turn, because they put that in their hands off of Scout the Borders, so I don't know why I didn't do that, but it's fine. Oh, well, the reason I didn't do it is because they could just not morphed and then kept it as a 2/2. What does that do? Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, make a 1/1. That is quite good. see if they fall into my trap here. Looks like they won't. We create blockers for days. So this is a 4-2. Alright, I don't really need that thing so much, so let's start here. I don't think I'm gonna attack with this anymore, considering they have all of their mana up. So I'm just gonna play this and pass here now. Arrowstorm can kill any of their creatures currently, but it does give them a 1/1 flyer. Can also hit them in the face. Could you imagine if these things had prowess? That would be ridiculous. Oh, they have first strike now. Okay. Ooh, hi. Forgot you were in the deck. So what if we did this? And then this, because this has flying, and now we can start getting in with the flyer here. We've got 5 damage to their face. We've got potential lethal in a couple of turns, more than likely. And a way to counter their spell next turn. Anything that could try to get them back into this. And they're drawing all sorts of action and no sorts of spells here. Or no sorts of lands. I think they had 3 lands to start, and then have not played another. Alright, do we have lethal? Let's see. Block, 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 block. Take 6. No, take 5. Take another 5. No, I don't think we're lethal just yet. So let's just hold up protection with a Spell Snatcher here. Could also crack the banner, I guess. Suppose I don't really need it anymore. Does this counter morph cards? Yeah, I would think so. Alright, a 4th land. So this is, again, a 4-2 by revealing a free green card. So let's do this and see if they turn it into a 4-2 and then try to cast some combat trick or something. It does have first strike as well. I could counter their combat trick. See what else they got here. Anything? Mardu Skull Hunter. I see. Well, I don't really want to get rid of my Arrow Storm. That's kind of my win con at this moment. So I'll just... guess I'll just counter it here. Highland Game. Oh, it has to tap itself too. Okay. Alright, my turn. Alright, we gotta have some sort of lethal now. Somewhere in here. Right, this represents 5 extra damage. Yeah, let's just swing in here. They might gain a couple life by chumping. Or trading. Let's see. So block, 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 block. Take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go to 3. Gain this. Go to 5. Die to Arrowstorm. That all works for me. Unless they have... unless this morph is the flip and gain life morph. Oh, they're not blocking the Mauler. There you go. If only they knew we had Arrowstorm in hand. They would probably not be spending this amount of time. Alright, there we go. We got it because then they got rid of the only card that they could have pitched to the potential life gainer. So, managed to get there eventually. Took a while, but we got there. Alright, well this suspension field has not been serving us particularly well. We do have a morph here if we're like super behind, and we can cast Bring Low on 4, so... I mean, if we're not going to fall so behind here. And if we have to trade this thing off as a 2-2, we can. Okay, that's a that's a thing. It's a land. We can cast Suspension Field now. Sure, here comes a morph. We'll play our morph. And then next turn we've got a 2/5, which is pretty good. We've also got Bring Low if we have to. Now that we have the 2/5, I don't think I'm going to trade. Okay, another morph. They also don't want to trade. Interesting. So we'll just play this. We'll see if that lives. That's kind of our game plan on this board right now. Now they have 5 mana, so that's the magic number. And obviously they're only attacking with one and not the other, so I'm going to go ahead and let them, yeah, just Snowhorn Rider here. I think I will play Whirlwind Adept. Next turn we play Island, Hold Up, Bring Low. Guess I could have played Tapland Suspension Field on Snowhorn Rider. I don't want to take too many hits off of this thing. Because now, next turn, ideally I'm just holding up Unmorphing Spell Snatcher, but that might not work out for us. I can technically double block this, but if they attack... If they attack, do I even block? Because then I could get blown out pretty hard. Yeah. I think I will. Let's see what they got. Okay. So they did have the removal there. Now we have to take 5. Please, no more plays? Okay. Alright, well I think we gotta take a turn off of holding this up and get rid of this Snowhorn Rider, because we can also play Scion of Glaciers. So I'll just do this, and then next turn we can hold this up as well as holding up Bring Low. This is the first one they played. If one of these is like a Woolly Loxodon or something, that's going to be so bad. We take 8, go to 3. Alright, let's see what they got. It's the 4/5, so I could have blocked there. But we do have decent blocks on the board currently. Alright, so I probably have to kill that. Because I can't block it. Still can't hold this up and cast either of these spells. As much as I would love to play a Quiet Contemplation, I need to hold this up so I can hit something here. Savage Punch. I guess I could buff this twice and then punch. I could also kill the morph. Let's see here. Could bring low that. So how much mana do I have? 4, 5, 6. No, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I buffed this up to a 4, 3, it would then go up to a 6, 5 to fight for 0 mana. So I'd have to buff it twice so that I'd have 6 mana left over. If I did Quiet Contemplation, that would be 3 mana left over, so I couldn't cast these other things. I probably want to bring low that. So let's do this. This. Creature you control. They control. Bring low here and then hit for 9. And then next turn I can Contemplation and Blinding Spray potentially. Alright. Don't really need that. They do have something here. Crippling Chill, maybe? Okay. Hit him down to 8. Play Contemplation, play Mentor, and then next turn still have Blinding Spray. Have a loot if I need it. Okay, fair. Almost had me in the face there. I'm just doing this so I can cast Blinding Spray and also pay for Contemplation. I don't think the mana or the 1 life is gonna matter that much here, so I'm not gonna play this. All right, we managed to get the win. We fought our way back up to 3 wins with this deck, and we're not even done. Let's keep going. Alright, we'll talk about a slow hand here. We need a red land to cast Outburst. We have to hope whoever this is playing anything that Bring Low is good against. I don't think that hand is remotely good here, so we'll keep 6, and then I guess get rid of Bring Low is worse than Aerostorm here. Number 81 player in the world Don't have high expectations necessarily for this. But we'll survive, maybe. At least for a little bit. There's a morph. Okay, bit of revelation. Sure, I'm probably just flipping up Aven next turn and bouncing that. I guess I could just play a Hordling Outburst. But could also play that morphed. Could play Quiet Contemplation. Next turn I can Outburst and tap that thing. That seems okay. Let's do this. I've always found that getting this down is pretty good. Hooting Mandrills. Okay. So let's do this here then. Lands are also good. Means we can actually use our mana here. They attack with the morph. Do I double block? I think I do. Huh. I could bring low their morph and then tap their abomination here. Let's do that. We have to take 4 from Mandrills, but I'm wondering if we are actually the aggressor in this game. They're at 11, we're at 19, so... And we do have an Aerostorm in hand. Secret plans. Love me a secret plans. Oh, wow. Okay, so now we lose. Jeez. So they just wiped our entire board and gained 4 life. And now we have to take 7. My goodness. That was bad. Okay. Don't think we're going to have time to do this. Yeah, so it's like Death Frenzy's going to get us on this one. That was unfortunate. Sometimes the card's good and sometimes it's not. Like, if we had it against this deck, it wouldn't be particularly great, but that is not the current situation. Yeah. It's going to be far too slow here. We have to take 5 now. Yeah, so we block and chump and go to 1, and then die in the air. Yeah, alright. Yep, that sideboard card beat us, unfortunately. Well, I'm still fine that we clawed our way back up to 3-3 with this deck that I didn't think was particularly good. This card has this spellcaster thing has gotten me a couple times, and I mean it was pretty good every time we flipped it. It's just too slow in that last game. They had too many creatures on the battlefield, and Spell Snatcher did not quite get the job done. But it is what it is. 3-3. We'll take it. See you next time for your daily draft.